get the cheat code, I'm a beast. They should've never let me out of leash. Stop all the cap, I'm just tryna see. You really back what you talk on the beat. They put me in, I'ma walk on the beat. I eat my plate and it make me obese. I been pushing lyrics like a Kingpin. And Wendy day we got no racing.
That's some cheat code shit.
What up, though?
Do we have bloopers? We need bloopers. We need like some. You guys have to see like what goes on behind the scenes because it's really funny.
Yeah, the blooper reel is.
We gotta have bloopers.
Yeah, we're gonna have to create one.
Yeah,
I think that should be part of our audio book whenever we do put it up.
Audio book is coming soon.
Yeah, the blooper reel.
Yep,
that's gonna be dope.
Yeah.
All right, I'm ready to get into it. You guys ready?
Yeah.
Come on with it.
Let's talk about networking and how important it is.
Oh my God, that's so important
in the industry.
Yeah, and I'm so bad at it.
Are those Chick-fil-A bags that man is walking by? I'm sorry, bro, but I've never seen Chick-fil-A bags that big in my
This reminds me of the
life,
episode
bro.
when I saw those ducks walking by.
I'm hungry as a hostage, man. That guy walked through with like these 2 gargantuan 55-gallon size bags of Chick-fil-A. Who does he know?
And I'm in the mood to rob somebody today, so if you want them, they're yours.
Bro, Chick-fil-A, we need to talk. Chick-fil-A. Man, I'm sorry. What was the question?
Let's talk about networking
Networking.
and how important it is.
Networking. Network builds equals your net worth, right? That's the old adage.
Yes. And networking, by the way, isn't where you scour the room or you scour the internet for somebody that can benefit you and then you stalk them to get what you need. Networking is where you get to know somebody, you find their likes, their wants, their needs, and then you help supply what they need or what they want in order to build a relationship to get what you want. You don't just walk up to somebody and say, hi, I want to network with you, put me on.
You guys remember when you used to be able to walk around and airdrop your contact to people? You would walk into a room at a music conference. I was notorious for doing this shit. I would open up my phone, and then whoever shit was open, I would just walk by them and bloop, 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 just in my contacts to everybody. It was like, ha, ha. And then I realized, like, hey, bro, that's a quick way to get blocked.
Yeah.
It's a quick way to get blocked, bro. That's a quick way to
I
just.
have to secretly admit to you, I blocked you really early on.
Yeah.
Because
when I was going on
emails-
crazy on Twitter and my emails and stuff like that, I remember.
It was just too much.
Because every
and I
maybe
love you.
every year or so, I would get a Wendy Day follow, and I'd be like, damn, I thought Wendy Day followed me already. What the hell's going on?
No,
Yeah,
because I would have to. There was just too much. I would have to.
46,000 posts.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then you would be doing something. It's like, oh, let me go see what he's doing, and then I'd come back in.
Mute.
and- yeah.
Yeah, thank God for the mute feature.
Thank God for the mute feature.
Because you can
now.
you can mute somebody and not unfollow them.
don't
It's like, hey
know.
man,
Yeah.
just be quiet.
Yeah, my
for a little
kids
while.
mute me
It's
on
not
social
offensive.
media because I talk about their, I'm so deeply in love with their mom. So I'm muted on my kids' IGs.
Really?
Dad is muted.
My nephew found one of our pages on TikTok, on his Explore page. Somehow the cheat code ended up on. He's like an 11-year-old kid,
That's
and
really
he's like,
cool.
"What are you on here yelling at people about?" It's so
What
funny.
are you yelling at people about?
Yeah.
But
so-
I would say networking is
That's
very,
kinda true.
very important,
know.
and you need to make sure you don't walk into a
How
room
do you
and just-
network?
First of all, you don't walk into a room and ask everyone in the room for their number.
That's not networking. That's
That's
stalkerish.
stalkerish.
Yeah, that's just weird.
Like you need to research. Like you need to research, study. Like this is something that you want to be a part of. So you need to research who. And sometimes you might not be able to get to a Wendy Day, but you need to find out who's around Wendy Day, like a Shauna. Get to know Shauna. Talk to Shauna. Shauna can potentially lead you to a Wendy Day. You might
And
not-
even if she doesn't, like talking to a Shauna is really fucking awesome.
facts.
Like that alone is probably better than talking to Wendy Day.
Because
You know?
you probably don't want to talk to Wendy Day initially anyway.
Well, unless you come with something, I can't really help you. So
Correct.
why would you? That's like going to a program director and saying, play my record.
Can I say this?
Yeah.
If they wanted to talk to Wendy Day, it's as easy as going on Wendy Day's posts consistently,
Yeah, 'cause she
turning
will
on her
reply.
notifications, and every
Yeah.
time she posts something, you get a notification on your phone, and you
Yeah.
go and you comment and you like the pics. And eventually, after you do that, she's gonna have those videos that are gonna have 3,000 views, and you're gonna be one of 7,500 motherfuckers. But she's gonna have that video that's only gonna have 36 likes on it and 8 comments, and one of those 8 comments is gonna be yours.
Yeah.
And
And I
you're
see
going
it.
to stand out, and she's gonna see it.
Yeah.
And the more consistent you are with doing that, the more consistent you are with engaging with her content and letting her know that she's on your radar, the more in tune and more inclined she'll be to interact with you. I have people, we do the lives on Wednesday when we do our shows, we go on live on Instagram, and we've had I call them E1ers, right? So we have whatever our community is gonna be cool, but we have people that were with us from episode one going live. So
All the way,
our
yeah.
E1ers, they come back, I know who those people are. They've been in my Instagram live for 18
I'm
weeks.
going live with you today,
Right.
by the way.
So I know who they are. I know to follow them back. I know to engage them. When they post, I share. That's why they're doing it.
Right.
You should come live too.
We'll get a live one of these days. I would love it.
I can't today.
You can't do that? Okay,
Yeah, I'm doing
cool.
a podcast.
I definitely want us, and we could drop the free one on this one, but I definitely want to do the A3C live. I think
Okay.
we need to do our first live one as a group,
Okay.
collectively. Needs to be A3C weekend.
Cool.
Okay.
Just because there'll be so many people tuning into what we got going on in this market, I think we could really use it to help
We
some
can
of
make
those
that
people
happen.
that are going to come in. I think that, and I'm not beating my chest, but it'll probably be the most beneficial information they will have ever gotten in their life.
Yeah.
Is sitting in a room.
We
with
could
us.
touch some older topics back up in that one because it'd be a live audience. there,
Maybe we
too.
can do like a community forum. Well, we'll have, instead of having Rari's question of the day, it'll be
Let people
Rari's.
ask us.
Rari will go up there and people can send in some
Facts,
segments.
facts,
We'll figure
facts,
it out.
facts,
And then
facts.
Rari can say, hey, these 20 people, these are the 20 questions we're going to ask. And then have those people
Brilliant.
based off, when they come in and
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
like a town hall meeting, if you will.
That's dope.
Yeah, I think that's awesome.
Something cool.
Because it's topical.
And again, networking.
I was
Because
going to come back to networking.
you're going to come
Exactly.
in, you're going to be able to find people of what you got going on. Somebody may raise their hand. If you're an artist, who should you be networking with? I don't know, maybe a graphic designer, maybe
Maybe a producer if
maybe
you're a rapper.
maybe engineers.
Maybe a songwriter if you're a singer.
And why engineers, Kingpin? Because engineers work at different studios. So engineers know where the best equipment is. They know what the best rates are.
Yeah.
They may have a
They know
discounted
who
rate with
all the
somebody.
up-and-coming artists are.
Hey, these are the people that you should be networking with. DJs, the way that you network with a DJ, the way that you network with a playlist curator, the way that you network with a media outlet is by engaging and supporting their content. You like a DJ post a flyer. I hate the fact that I just recently discovered there's 3 Instagram timelines. There's the one they want you to see, there's your following, and then there's your favorite, right? The following that's where your engagement lies. The following is a chronological timeline of posts of people
Correct.
that you follow in the order of which they were posted.
Correct.
So understanding that if a DJ is posting a flyer,
Top left of your Instagram.
you
app.
need to
The
like
one
it,
top
even
left.
if the DJ is not in your city. If you're following a DJ from California and you're in New York and the DJ posts his flyer, double tap it, like it, share it. It's called engagement. That like, that comment, and that share is going to help that post reach hundreds and maybe sometimes thousands of more people than if you would not have liked it, commented, and shared on it. You do that consistently, you're going to build a relationship. That relationship will flourish and that tree will bear fruit for you when you are ready to go out there and reap the harvest.
Right.
And if I could say, networking is definitely building a substantial relationship. You don't want to do it in a fake way because the person you're trying to build a relationship with is going to peep that you probably just want something from them and you don't want to build with them. Because we're all using each other in a positive way, but some people want to use you just for their benefit. But no, that's not how it works. It should not work that way.
And can I be
only
honest with
that
you?
way.
There are a ton of people that I do things that will never know I did it for them.
Same.
I don't do it expecting anything in return.
Yeah.
I did it similar why we come here and we do the cheat code, because this is what's expected of us. This is what is demanded of us. This is what is required of us. That's why we expect the DJs to play new records. You don't have to. Drake, Lil Baby, and these guys gave you hits to play for days.
Days, facts.
But we play new ones because we want to be responsible for that next one coming up. And on the business side of the entertainment industry, we're talking about interns, you have to know what it is that it takes to be successful first. Fuck doing it. You don't know what to do. You don't know where to start. You don't know any of those things. And I think that's going to hinder you, because the more you don't know, the harder you're going to go in the opposite direction. And there's going to come a time when you're going to exhaust your resources. You're going to feel mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually drained, and you're going to be ready to walk away. And it's because you were going in the wrong direction to begin with.
I'm a big energy person, so if I don't vibe the energy, it's not really gonna work for me. Because I can sense a scammer, or I can sense
Hell
something ingenuous from a mile away. So if that happens to be you, I'll be able to peep that before we even get to me giving you my phone number, or you getting an email or a contact to someone close to me anyway.
Sixth sense. Yeah, you got to have it.
So the way that I network, I don't know if this helps you guys or not, but I do it 2 ways. One is I'm always checking out the best of lists. So Billboard has them. Some of the
Pandora Trendsetter's back. Did you know?
I did not know.
Pandora Trendsetter is back,
That's
baby.
awesome. So I go through and I see who other people are giving kudos to. And if I don't know them, I'll go on LinkedIn, find out who they are, what they do. I'll find their Instagram page, their Twitter, and I'll go through and I'll do the deep dive and find out, okay, what do we have in common? Do we have anything in common? And I'll send articles. Like I'll find an article if somebody's really into. I do this with you all the time.
Daily.
If I, sorry,
daily, and I love it.
Sorry,
I love it. Iron sharpens iron.
I read a lot. I read a lot,
and she
so
understands how valuable me having that information is.
When I see an article that I know that you'll like, or somebody that I don't know very well, but they're into something, I'll send it to him. Like the way that I met Hurricane Dave when I first moved to Atlanta was I saw that he was into drones. I know nothing about drones, but as I started reading different stuff in business press, drones became very popular, and they started talking about the local laws in Atlanta and how they were changing, and I would just send him drone articles. That's how I met him, and that's how I became friendly with him. And I just feel that if you learn what interests somebody, not only is it going to be interesting for you, but you're going to be able to meet them at a place that's not business oriented, that's a little bit more of an interest base. And then the second way that I do it is I'm always looking at projects that come out, and I look at how different labels do stuff and different artists do stuff. So if Gunna puts out a project and he's talking about astrology, because I don't really understand a lot about astrology, but I see the success of the campaign, I start asking around to find out, okay, whose idea was this? Whose campaign was this? And I start asking my industry friends, and when I find out who those people are, I reach out to them by email and ask them, hey, when you have some time, could you answer this? Well, almost always people answer right away, but they'll give you, they don't share secrets, but they'll give you like their background of where it came from. And then that leads to more questions, which then becomes an exchange and not just a barrage of help me, put me on, explain this to me.
Research points. You're able to find out, where you have to go look for the information so that you can arrive at a similar conclusion.
And then often people will tell you their weak points. Like, yeah, we did this, but we wanted to do more on TikTok, but we didn't know who to turn to help us. And then it's like, oh, I know Brandman Sean. Can I introduce you to Brandman Sean? Like he really has studied TikTok and he really gets it. And he might be able to help you on the next one. And then it becomes putting people together, not putting people together for a fee. If you introduce somebody to somebody else, you do not get paid for that.
Correct.
It's what you're supposed to do as a human fucking being. But when you put people together and then you step back and you let the magic happen, it helps everybody. Everybody wins.
Absolutely. And sometimes putting your supporters or your peers or people in your industry, putting them in a position to earn a paycheck, putting them in a position to get the accolade, sometimes that's almost as important.
Yes.
Helping somebody else accomplish their goal.
It's called paying it forward.
And that's why I always, whenever I understand when a DJ brings somebody to meet me, I know what it meant to that person and that DJ.
Correct.
I know what's expected of me, and I know that if I do what I'm supposed to do, this person will feel indebted to this DJ. This DJ will feel indebted to me.
Yes.
And it continues to win. It's a win.
Yes.
And I think that's the kind of environment that all of us bring to each other's teams and respectively.
Yes.
And that we feed off of each other, is that we understand that each one helping the other person win is not an individual accomplishment. It's a team win.
It is a team win. Yeah. It always is.
I'm glad you said that. You talked about how you network, because how I network is it's two different ways, because I'm on the radio, so I have to network with artists. So I'll get a one sheet about an artist, so I'll have to study an artist. Well, I use that with people I want to network with, and I usually try to network with people who I feel are smarter than me, because I want to learn as much as possible, which is why I try to surround myself around people like you two.
Why, thank you.
I knew very much about you, and you didn't formally meet me yet.
Right.
So when I met you, I damn near knew everything about you.
You did. And you mentioned things to me that I had forgotten, and it was like, oh, I did that.
So I like to study and, do a deep dive. Like you said, I do the same thing. I do a deep dive, and I damn near know someone's spouse's name
Right.
their kids'
How many
name,
kids they
how many
have.
kish they have,
Yes.
all type of
It's
shit.
required,
It's
though.
almost
It is
stalkerish,
required.
but I do it on a way
It's
to
got
when
nothing
we have
to do with
a
being a stalker.
just when we have a conversation, I can be a lot more relatable.
Yes.
I want to know what your perspective
It's
is.
truly being interested in people, isn't it?
Yes.
Correct.
Because you were interested. So it took you down that path, and it made you ask questions that not for the benefit of the relationship, but that you really wanted to know the answer to.
Not facts.
Yeah, I'll give you an
And
example.
that goes a long way.
We were doing a live the other day, and we were talking about touring, and we were asking the people.
I think
After our
I
show
think I
to
came
come
in
on
and
in.
commented it, right?
Yeah, you did. And I said, hey, we're going to let you guys, I'm going to put together a promo run for you guys. So we used everybody that was on the live
Yeah, I remember
to
that.
pinpoint 10 cities they wanted to go to, how many people they wanted to have on the road, what they wanted, and assembled this plan for them. First city on the market was St. Louis. Somebody was like, go to St. Louis. Okay, we're starting in St. Louis. Go on Google, find the radio station from St. Louis, go to the radio station's website, pull in the radio station's website, go to the PD's page. Wah, 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 wah. Instagram broken. Twitter link doesn't exist. Bio old. No updated pictures.
Really?
So I did this on the live. And I showed them people, I have now found somebody that could help me. So now I am going to go fix these problems for this person. And I'm going to contact them with them problems fixed, and I'm going to build a relationship. And I did it all on your live from your city. You came in here into my live and told me that there was people in your city that could help you, but you never bothered to look at who you could help in your city.
That's brilliant. That's brilliant.
That's where it starts off. That's the kind of research that it takes. That's the kind of information that you want. You don't go into anything not knowing all of the rules to play by, not knowing all of the key players, all of the pioneers, all of the refs and umpires. You don't walk into it not knowing all of that, because all of that has to be factored into your decision. It has to happen like this. And the more information you don't have, that decision will be the wrong one.
It kind of comes back to what we were saying a couple episodes ago. It's an addiction. Like, you want to know as much as possible for whatever you're surrounding yourself or being in business with. You want to know as much as possible so you can learn as much, so you can take a high percentage shot. You don't want to just be shooting from half court.
Right.
How many
wanna
shots
do
you
more.
gonna make from half court?
Right.
We want to do more. We want to do more. In order to do more, you have to know more.
Steph Curry said the shots that he takes are bad shots. He's just really good at it.
Right.
So don't pay attention to him. You need to shoot the correct form, the correct
somebody who's
shot.
a foot and a half shorter than everybody else has to learn how to shoot from 50 foot out.
Yeah.
He's a
not-
master,
he's-
but he broke down.
But he practices
He
it.
had
He practices it.
Yeah.
He had to refine that game. He wanted to play at the pro level. He had to be the best shooter that there could be. He's not going to go in there and bang with LeBron and bang with these guys.
Facts.
That's not his game. So if he wants to compete and he wants to be the best, then he has to be able to take bad shots good.
Hey, look,
And
hey, look.
he
Kingpin,
worked at that.
If you go on the Warriors Instagram page before the game, and I'm a big sports junkie, he shoots right underneath the basket. Then he goes 10 steps back, goes another 5 steps back, all the way till he gets to half court, and he does not miss.
How often does he do that?
Every day.
Yeah.
He does
Every
that.
day.
He does that
Every game. They play 8
Every
games a
day.
season. So
Well, he does it every
That's
game in
eight
warm-ups,
times,
but he
you know.
also does this, and he said he does this every day.
after they won the championship,
he
he went
really
to a
wants it.
fair with his kids and was out there shooting basketballs for teddy bears.
That's awesome.
You know what I mean? Like,
That's awesome.
But again, somebody Steph Curry didn't want to be in the NBA. Steph Curry wanted to be the best in the NBA.
Right.
And he wakes up every day and he earns that position. Every season, new season.
But you said it
prove
earned.
yourself again. Every 88 games, he's got to earn it. What he did last year matters squat when the new season kicks in.
Can we talk
That's
about
how
that?
I look at it. I don't look at like what I did in the past. I look
It
at
doesn't matter.
What,
You got,
what
what
have
are
I
you
done
doing right
lately?
now? What is your
Yes.
last, most recent?
Yes. What is my
As a matter of
success
fact, that's
now?
more dangerous because you're coming in with that weight on your shoulder.
Correct.
You have to repeat the title because if you don't repeat the title, did you fall off?
Yeah, facts.
Did you fall off? You didn't have a bag. Oh, you lost because of trades. Key players missed here or there. So did y'all really fall off, or were y'all not prepared? So a lot of times, becoming the best and maintaining the best is a lot of pressure because you're always having to meet or surpass the minimum of what you did the last time.
Yeah.
And that's why praying for a hit record and not being prepared for it is one of the most dangerous
Very
prayers that you
dangerous.
can ask for because you're going to get exploited, you're going to get robbed, you're going to get led down the wrong path. And when they're done robbing you, leading you down the wrong path, they're going to throw you away and find somebody else to do
You're
it to.
going to be upset, mad,
That's real.
frustrated
Feelings.
depressed.
Feelings.
You're gonna be in your feelings.
That's
More
why,
feelings.
That's why I started Rap Coalition, because so many artists, when you're popping and you have money and people can make a percentage, everybody wants to help you. But when your career is over and you're broke and there's no financial gain for somebody to help you, and oh, by the way, you're 23 years old,
Right.
and people looking at you like your life is over, it's like, no, people are not disposable. And that's why I started Rap Coalition, was to help those folks get off of the label they were signed to, because no one else was helping them, and let them start over. Let them figure out, okay, what am I going to do when I'm 24? What am I going to do at 26? What am I going to do at 28? Your life doesn't stop when the fame light burns out. It's just a
I
stepping
do like
stone.
how Trinidad James pivoted. He still does music.
Great example.
But he does sneakers.
Great
and
example.
He does a lot. He's putting out his own shoe. With
He's an
Sake.
ambassador for the culture. Music was one of the ways that he was able to reach
Yes.
people
But
for the
I
culture.
do like how
Yes.
he conveniently pivoted. But I got a question of the
Do
day.
you think that's more because of that's the way it was, or people weren't receptive to his music? Let's talk about it. If we're
Either
gonna talk
or,
about it.
okay. I feel like it could be either or, but I feel like he recognized it and he made a decision to pivot. I feel like the pivot is as equally important as other people around you saying, "Yo, this shit ain't working. Like we not doing what we not doing what we once were doing, or this record is not doing what the first record did.
We've exhausted what we can in this one. It's time to grow.
What are we gonna do next?"
Yeah,
Like, what's the
music is one
next-
vehicle to get you to the next opportunity.
Absolutely.
He had the fame and he was a recognized sneakerhead. So once I saw him
He
do a show,
parlayed that into something.
He
I
did.
said, "Oh, this is nice."
Yeah.
And
He's
he
wrote some
parlayed
records
it.
for some people. So even though he's not in the limelight, he's still in the music industry. Didn't he
Of
write that
course.
record with Bruno? He got a Grammy for that, right? The record he wrote for Bruno Mars. I thought he got a Grammy for that record.
That's awesome. I didn't know.
TIG
that.
has a Grammy
Didn't know that.
because of Trinidad James.
That's awesome.
Yeah, he
That's
got a
dope.
co-writing Grammy or whatever it was for Bruno Mars. If I'm wrong, guys, tell me in the comments.
Proud of you, Trinidad James.
Yeah. But, again, somebody that's seen that what he wanted to continue to accomplish would far exceed music. Music was one avenue that took him to where it provided him, that opened the door. And then he went through that door and found other means and is still winning off of that. So I think that encompasses, that's what hip hop is, bro. It's finding a way for you to take what you do, how you want to do it, and continue to make money off of it, provide opportunities for you, for your team, help your community, do all of those things. And if you don't have to be a musician to do that, if you don't have to be behind a microphone, you don't have to be behind a camera, and you could do that as a professional or you could do that as a host or whatever it is, then find those avenues and explore them, man, because
Pivot.
this music shit isn't going to be around forever. People really are going to want to listen to you forever. And if they do, they're going to listen to the songs that made them feel like, we talked about this the other day with Bootsy. And shout out to Bootsy, you know what I mean? But Bootsy hasn't put out a new record that you want to listen to. Bootsy, the only music from Bootsy you can listen to is all the old classics. But Bootsy hasn't, and he's murdered every new feature that he's put out, but Bootsy hasn't. You're a PD guy at the radio station. How many Bootsy songs have you tried that been serviced to program in the last year? My point exactly.
All right, question of the day. My name is Paul Anderson, songwriter, producer from Atlanta. My question is, what has been one of the greatest challenges or obstacles that you have faced in the music industry as a manager executive? Are there any specific challenges that one should expect, like a rites of passage? This question is for the whole crew.
Managing expectations. That's really what I do for a living. When people hire me, I genuinely believe they want to be told that their way is right, and they're hiring me to tell them that, even though it may not be. But every day I have to manage expectations, and that's my biggest challenge.
Value. People don't understand your value or what you bring to the team or what you bring to the table. If you're super resourceful and you're always preventing them from hitting the wall and always rescuing them from falling flat on their face, they tend to think that it's more what they're doing than what you've done for them. So this is the only business where you'll throw an interception in the first quarter and they won't get rid of the quarterback. They'll get rid of the entire coaching staff in the middle of the game and bring in all new people out of the stands to come coach, because the need to win in the music business is everything. So much so that people will pay for fake views, pay for fake streams, pay for fake likes, will pay a booking agent to give them a portion of the money on a back-end show to go into the Chitlin circuit and perform. Don't even get me started, bro. It happens every single day, and I think it happens because there's no value to it. Nobody understands what it takes to be successful, so they don't know what it is that you provided for them when you gave them that.
And
they
their
don't know how valuable it is, their
expectations haven't been met.
expectation. Yeah. So
We have to manage
Mine
them.
would be the cap.
We have a minute.
The cap. It reminds me of like an ant pile. If you step into an ant pile, the queen is like the artist that's dope, but the ants is like all this bullshit you got to goddamn get through to get to the fucking artist and to get them the proper information. And all these fucking ants is all in the way telling the queen the wrong information.
yeah.
And it just drives me freaking nuts. Wendy voice, pineapple. It just drives me crazy. And yeah, it just makes me mad sometimes. But you just got to get through the ants and goddamn get to the queen. And when you get there, you be like, shit, all right, this is what's going on.
Then you're so exhausted and out of breath from having to fight through all the bullshit that you need a minute to recover. And that minute is usually all that you have to convey to somebody, that message of, hey, man, something is bad. And they don't get to hear it because when you did get there, you had to exhaust so much to give them the message. So,
And on that note,
Cheat motherfucking code.
you bitch.